any variation of any of these things is going to be different for different people. I'll just kind of go over some things that I do. Create yourself a comfortable space where you're not going to be interrupted for a while, and intention is important. Okay, you need to create a space, something that you do that you look forward to, because as you come in contact with your third eye, you're going to look forward to it very much. But like, there's a sacredness to it. There's, you in your own heart and mind place a lot of value on this, and not in the sense of you have to. It's only out of your love, your desire, your interest. Okay, those kind of things. Build energy out of something. Make a spot, if that makes sense to you. If there's some kind of art, you know, now obviously crystals and gemstones and binaural sounds and herbs and, you know, probably 20 other things out there can add to the potential mystical experience and effects here. If you know of anything that, you know, helps you in a more mystical direction, I would work with combining all these things, and I'd make it a practice, because when you decide in your own heart and mind that I'm truly honoring this thing, I'm truly making myself open to exploring whatever's actually here, that's when things will happen. It'll be honored. Okay, so make your special place, both, you know, like if your physical environment, somewhere you can be comfortable, and maybe set up the other things that can help. So external environment's nice, but you don't need it. You could do this in a park. You can go outside anywhere if you have access to that. I mean, you could do third eye visualizations in an elevator. It's just that when you're learning, it's going to be easier, obviously, without distractions, and the more comfortable too, because people are stressed in this world, and they got a lot of tension in their body. So anything that's going to help you get all the tension out of your body, because believe it or not, certain energies that are needed here to help make things clearer actually move through your body better when all the types of different tension are taken out. Okay, so the deeper you learn to relax doing this, okay, self-love and relaxation, I mean, the whole thing's going to become a super healthy experience, not just propel you into a new reality. Okay, a new layer of life that's bigger than you even knew was there. Okay, and that's putting it lightly. So comfortable environment, and you know, anything you can do going in to get your mind settled, your emotions settled. If certain things are bothering you, that you can get out of the way that day so that they won't be distracting you when you're trying to do any kind of meditation work, or, you know, energy work, or anything that's going to require being in the moment, being fully in it, not having part of your attention somewhere else, because that really takes away from things like this. And especially in the beginning, when you're working on learning how to make connections with certain parts of yourself, the more unnecessary distractions you can eliminate, the better. So having that sacred time and space in something for you that's like an important practice, you know, that you highly respect in your life, so that everybody else will have to as well, because that's like, you know, that's like holy to him, you know. Don't interrupt that's his spot, his spot, and everybody will understand it after you've done it and honored it for a while. That's like, you know, that's a super important time, and most importantly, you'll understand it. You'll feel it, like a part of you will desire and know instinctively that the connections you make working with parts of yourself are like the most important part of your day, and they're going to make the rest of it operate at a higher level, the rest of whatever your day is. So those things, it's not hard to make them top priority as you start to have more experiences. But in the beginning, when you don't even know if you believe you're going to have an experience or whatever your question, you don't know what you're trying to experience, you don't know any, you know, you're feeling like you're not seeing something here and you don't know what's going on. It's helpful to know all these things. It's helpful to know all the things that kind of help, you know. So that's why we're going over all these little, just, you know, set up your environment right, set up your mood right as much as you can, get all the dramas and things away from you before you even I'm not saying you can't practice meditating third eye work anywhere, even in the eye of the storm or whatever. Like, in fact, you need to do things like this when your life is stressful. But again, to practice, to learn, and to have an awesome experience for you that's brings a balance into your life, even physically, that people need and don't take the time for. There's so many beneficial things here. So make your sacred space and time. Now, get super relaxed. So let's go over it. Some people will do better in the dark. Some people will do better with some light, maybe dim light, maybe even brighter lights beginning. It's going to be different. And you can, just experiment. Try it one day in the dark, try one day dim light, stuff like that. But for me, I prefer either dim light or dark as far as just stronger visuals from the third eye, but it works in broad daylight. In fact, it even works with my eyes open. Okay, like I'll be just doing stuff in broad daylight, and a part of my mind is seeing something else, and it's very interesting. It's like showing me something and commenting on, and you guys have this too. You've experienced it. This is a matter of bringing something that's very faint in your focus and bringing it into lucidity. It's like it's just like the difference between not even remembering your dreams and being able to lucid dream and discover great secrets about life and heal yourself and others, but depending on what your spiritual gifts are. I mean, oh my gosh, we're talking it's like that. It's like the difference between, I don't even know if I do dream. Once in a while I kind of think I do, and last night I astral projected in a dream over to so-and-so's house and did some energy work, and this morning they woke up and told me exactly what I did and how much healed they are, and it was awesome. We're talking about that much difference here, if that makes sense. So that's what it is. So you're learning to start to become mindful of the parts of yourself that you were taught meant nothing since you got here, okay? So get comfortable, get your proper sounds that are right for you. And mostly, guys, this is about feel. At the end of the day, don't play this soundtrack or light this candle or do this ritual because so-and-so said. Do all the things that make the most sense to you. This is your private thing between you and your spirit guides and God and life and the universe and the great force and the great spirit and your ancestors and all that. It's not about, some person on earth's ritual, okay? So get yourself super relaxed, get comfortable, close your eyes, and I guess it'll help if I just go through it with my eyes closed. So close your eyes and be comfortable, and breathing exercises and grounding exercises are good. So for grounding, there's so many different ideas out there. For me, I just picture a red root chakra. Like I'm in a squatted position right now, so I'm sitting on a red energy ball, okay? That's my root chakra. It's shooting a chain down into the earth. It's holding on like an anchor. And then I allow myself to feel electrical current moving up through my feet from the earth, which I feel all the time now. And that may be because I've been walking barefoot for years and it might have woke up the nerves. But it's really nice because when I put my attention on it, I can really feel a lot of electrical current just moving and connecting me and holding me, like buzzing in me, kind of like some big amperage that's connecting me to the earth. It's very interesting and it feels good. So that's me grounding for now. It's just whatever works for you. The idea is to understand that the earth is a giant living thing, and when you electromagnetically ground to her, you can connect to her energy, and her energy is what reaches up into the sky and connects lightning, okay? It's not lightning coming down, it's going up. So think about that. Her energy can come up through your chakra systems. She's got unlimited supply of energy, more than you could ever need, right? So you're connected to the earth. So whatever else you connect to out there, you're grounded and connected solidly and healthy, and the signal's good and everything's good and you're comfortable right here, grounded electromagnetically to the earth. It's an energy thing. Alright, so now what were we going to go over next? Grounding and breathing. Yeah, so deep breathing helps. Now for me, if you watch any of my personal psychic readings or anything, you'll see that I kind of I'm athletic and strong. I just kind of take a bunch of deep breaths. I get that air in there. I get it really in there. I get like an oxygen high going. And by the time, now I have a certain number of breaths I usually take, but that's not useful to tell anybody that. Do what feels right. Slow deep breaths or a little faster deep breaths. Generally in through the nose and out through the mouth tends to work a little bit better. But you'll notice as you get better and used to that you'll really like it. You'll notice an amazing high you get, and that amazing high all throughout your body and everything, in your mind and your brain, it lifts your vibration a lot, and it makes the connection you're looking to make easier. So I'm not saying hyperventilate the whole time you're trying to use your third eye. I'm just saying to get started, to get your body relaxed, to get a bunch of oxygen to open everything up and get started, do some deep breathing, and then totally relax, and try to remember to still take slow deep breaths. And if you forget, like I do often, stop and take some more deep breaths in, and then just keep going on your journey. It's okay. It's all good, however it works. But oxygen helps, okay? It helps keep you in a higher vibration where your visions are going to be clearer and better, okay? And it makes you feel a lot nicer, and that's part of why it helps. So those are my basics on the concept of grounding. Now, any visuals that come to you while you're sitting here that make you feel safer, if you're concerned about, spirit attacks and stuff like that, then, you can sit here and start picturing like a ball of fire or whatever you like, magic, something around you. You can call a spirit guide and see, well, we got to get you in touch with your third eye before you can see this. Okay, so just picture in your mind, just sit there. It might help to look up with your eyes, look upwards, and now it helps to have your own visual what your third eye might look like to you. So start picturing something up there, sort of in the center, an eye, or in it, whatever form it takes, that's fine. An eye, or maybe for me, a lot of times for whatever reason, a triangle forms, a three-dimensional triangle type thing, and it sort of opens up and I start seeing a different picture through that triangle, and then I pull myself to the triangle and I go right through the triangle, and now I'm in the picture. But that's just one thing that happens. So many different things can happen. The point is you learn to move your intention. Your body's relaxed, the world outside you might as well be gone because you set everything up to just leave you in your own private world for a while. So it's all inner world now. And now you're not using your outer eyes, so you're using your inner eye. And you're relaxing and learning to pay attention to your inner eye. What does it see? If things are too chaotic, you might be dealing with just too many emotional jitters, and if there's too much mental talk going on in your head, then that stuff kind of needs to be cleared away in order to get in a state. But if you're truly relaxed, and some of you, it might be best like laying in bed before you go to sleep to do this. Even if you fall asleep, that's fine. If when you're truly relaxed is when you're laying there and you can see, you can start to see. You may start to see something like a movie, you may just see what seems like randomness, but relax. Don't try to see something. If you feel like you're trying to focus your eyes, then you probably are. You're like flexing your physical eyes, and that's useless. It's a distraction. You don't need to try to see anything. In fact, what happens is as you learn to stop trying, you'll notice that then you are seeing something. There's something there. And all of the static that's normally in the way is starting to clear away. As the static and the blockages in your inner vision there start to clear away, you'll start to see something. And it could be anything. That depends on what's going on with you right now and all that you're connected to. But don't be scared. There's not some monster going to jump out at you through your third eye. If you see something scary, you'll just be a little startled and open your eyes, I guess. It's nothing to be afraid of, So at first, this is just an exercise of learning to see, learning to watch something happening. And some people are going to be this is going to come easy right away, first try. Some of you, maybe you'll feel blocked, like, oh, I don't know, I'm not really seeing anything. you're probably still trying too hard. You need to, it's the preparation stuff that's more important. It's the getting in the true deep state of relaxation and having the mental chatter and distractions away from you. If you have the interferences that we normally live under, if you have more of those out of the way, something like this will be a lot easier. So if you see anything, just chill. Don't try to make it do anything. Don't try to worry about what it is. And if you start seeing one thing change into another, this is good, this is what it's about. Just relax. And whatever, at first, just whatever unfolds. Don't try to think about it with your left brain. Don't try to put words to it, because maybe what you're seeing, there is no words for it at first, right? So you don't need to try to think about it in words. Just totally relax and observe. And before long, a lot of you are going to be quite surprised at how wondrous the things you're seeing are. You're starting to use a little bit of that DMT in the third eye, and so you're starting to have, like, whoa, these visions are just so, like, the best artist in the universe is making these. What is this? And I'm in them. It's like I'm in galaxies that are morphing and changing, or it could be anything, but it'll blow your mind. And as you relax and pay attention to it, it's like, yeah, okay. Even if it's faint at first, if you see anything, you're using your third eye, okay? That's you making a connection to it. Now, it may be a weak signal. It may be like a old broken, cell phone tower that fell down in the woods and trees are laying on it, and it's just kind of sending a weak signal. You're kind of seeing a little or whatever. It's totally all right. Signal will get stronger. You just relax, Just be like, hey, I'm doing my exercise now. I never did this my whole life, right? So this is progress. Progress is progress. Frustration is just a blockage because you think, oh, there's something wrong with me, I gotta force something. Nothing like that is true at all. This is the most natural thing to you in the world. It's everything that we've learned since we got here that makes us not know how to just do what's natural to us, okay? So even if nothing else, even practicing it first, learning to set aside a time in your day and create a special place where you're going to start expanding inward, okay? Because all your other daily activities with your other two eyes open, what's it all about? Outward stuff, right? The chores and the jobs and the sports and the hobbies and the causes and the this and the that's and the dramas of life. Well, the other eye works on the inside, so you have to create, special, like I said, a sacred space and time for that. And you'll learn to love it. And you could say it's sort of like dreaming. If you're not very clear, that's what you'll see at first, and you'll be like, sort of like a dream, and then it'll become clearer as you get better at this. But you got to pay attention to your feelings. If something's distracting you, again, if you can resolve it in life, that's good. And if not, then there's other inner practices, and that's really what this is about, that will cause you to be able to change your alignment about that thing that you can't resolve, and see it from a whole different place, and be able to set the stresses of stuff like that aside in order to do things like this, to literally forget about it for a certain amount of time, because you choose to be all here for something like this. And when you get to the point where you can do something like that, you're going to be so much better at everything in life, because you'll find out what it's like to be able to actually be there, instead of have your mind divided into 75 different things that are stressing you, whether you know it or not. To be able to put your intention where you want. So we're putting our intention in a chakra, an eye in the middle of the head, or a pyramid with a light, or a light bulb, or a sun, or a star, or a spirit animal, or whatever appears in the center of your head looking at you. It doesn't matter, and it could be different, it can change, and it's all good. We're talking about getting in touch with a portal in the center of your head, okay? It starts out as a visionary portal. Just think of it as visionary work. Anything you have a vision on is great. Even if it just seemed like a bunch of random stuff, you're starting to have inner vision, okay? And it's not just some silly little game that's all it is, believe me. If you follow this path, it really is just a portal, okay, into a lot more about reality. So one of the reasons it's taboo and people don't know about it is that's why. So enough said. You guys are already interested and you're already moving through it. So that's a little tutorial on a basic idea of what we're talking about practicing here. Getting yourself in the zone, getting your environment in the zone, knowing that this is an important thing for you to have some kind of spiritual practice in your life for yourself. This is for yourself. This is for you to love yourself. This is for you to discover yourself. This is for you to bloom into what you can be in this world. And there's nothing more important you could be doing. So that's key tip number one. And then whatever you start to see, it is all good. You do not need to understand it. You do not need to analyze it. Although if you do understand it or have a feeling, that's great. You're already intuitively interpreting certain information from your own vision. That's awesome. Go with that and trust it. Just work with it. There's no grading scale here. There's no judgments. Judgments are a complete waste of time for spiritual work. All they do is stop us. That's all they do. If we're judging ourselves or anybody else, we're just sitting there not growing. We're blocked. So judgment's useless. Don't ever judge yourself. Love yourself, your divine being, rediscovering your true nature. Okay? This is truth. So hopefully that's enough of a basic understanding of how it's really not anything more than a totally, completely natural thing that human beings have been trained away from even using. For so long on this planet, they believe scary stories, and it's truly a wondrous and amazing and healing thing that brings information and energy into this world that it needs, okay? You need it, we all need it, the world needs it. If you're interested in it, you probably have a calling to discover that. So work with it and honor yourself and relax and realize it's an acceptance thing. It's an acceptance and an allowance, and you should be enjoying it. Make this time, make your third eye practice about enjoying it. That should be the first intention going in, because childlike enjoyment of this process will reconnect you to things you had as a child that you forgot now, okay? When your connections to when your connections were a lot more and in your awareness now, okay? Alright, so that's basic knowledge on getting started. So guys, try that, feel it, try it, lay there. You can listen to my voice while you do it. It might even help because my energy's aligned with what we're doing, and that actually does make a difference. Believe it or not, even the sound frequencies in my voice when I'm doing a certain video will, not because I know how to control it mentally, but there's other forces at work here that can actually help. There's a bit of hypnotism in there, in this video on my voice even, you know? So, plus the binaurals in the background. So anyway, whatever helps, guys. If there's a certain kind of music you know that if you listen to it puts you in a trance, use that. And have a trance vision, man. Have a vision and love yourself doing it. You're part of God. That's why you have inner vision, guys. You're not bad, you're not straying off the path, you're not going off into the darkness to be eaten by the boogeyman. These things in a more ideal world, we would be enjoying them from the time we were children, with innocence and wielding wondrous spiritual gifts without the slightest question about why anybody wouldn't, you know. But we live in a world of lies, so anyway.
Hey, Mama's home.
You're becoming the light in the lies, and I love you, and you're all beautiful lights, alright? Powerful, beautiful things beyond what we're even beginning to figure out. I love you. Be well, Jedis. That's all for now.